is stupid. You got a boot on the car and you're about to get one in your butt.
Sorry, Cal.
Comedies aren't normally associated with visual effects at all.
We didn't take the approach that we were making an effects movie. We took the approach that we were making a movie that had effects.
So this film isn't, on the face of it, a visual effects movie. We haven't got the spaceships, and we haven't got the big explosions associated with the summer blockbusters. But under the skin, it's very much a visual effects movie.
Aw, man, this ain't no time to be doing donuts.
See, it's just my body that's going through it. And my head is gone, it's not gonna show.
And this is how our film is different from so many other films. It's not a giant gorilla, it's not 10,000 elves or 5,000 hobbits. It's an ordinary man, but he's only 2 feet high.
There's definitely been a few comedies around that have had some visual effects shots in them, but there's not many, I can't think of one in fact, where the main part of the movie, the main character of the movie is a visual effect.
It's almost like Jurassic Park. I mean, once you decide you're gonna make dinosaurs come to life, now you gotta find some people who who don't think you're insane.
Look at you look crazy, man. Go to bed. Oh, you are good. Oh, you gonna give me the finger? Where did you learn that, huh? BET, Videos After Dark?
Rob Yamamoto is our visual effects producer, and he's worked with some of the greatest directors in the history of Hollywood.
For me, it's an opportunity to work in a comedy with the best of the masters of comedy.
And Alex Bicknell is our visual effects supervisor, and he's been spectacular.
Visual effects on this movie is part of this collaborative effort. We're all filmmakers on here.
You know, he's so respectful that before I would roll camera, I would take the beat and go, Alex, because he wouldn't say anything. He would just sit there sweating and was like, I'll figure it out for you, don't worry. And I said, no, I don't want you having seizures behind me just before we shoot. Tell me. And then he would tell me, oh, well, you can't have a person cross in front of his face, or you need the background to be a solid, or you need, so then those are kind of easy adjustments that I can make.
Every successful film, in my experience, there is a creative collaboration between all the principal departments. The production designer, the director of photography, the visual effects supervisor, even sound, production offices. All those people have to work closely together.
We had to go and speak to costume and to the set designers about how we're going to incorporate our effects, or how they can help us and how we can help them. Obviously, for the costume, one of the most important things is a lot of the scenes we're going to be shooting against a green screen, so we had to make sure there's no green prevalent in the costumes.
We decided that we had to do the costumes that had no high necks. Everything had to be a crew neck, had to be placed very low, so the visual effects could have a seam line that they could place the head on.
And all the sets, etc., we've gone through and made sure that they all help our environment, allow us to give us accurate 3D tracking information without having to put crosses and X's and stands all over the place.
Where do you think you're going?
Part of the remit of making this film was to be as unobtrusive as possible.
It wasn't about building these huge rigs and all that. It was really about you shoot your movie and you don't have to do anything that inhibits the creative process. And they did make it very easy for us to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. There you go, that's perfect. Yeah, I want to do the whole scene like that.
Keenan went to all the big visual effects houses in LA, and they all said it couldn't be done.
The most important thing for Keenan, this is a comedy, and it's got to be funny. Marlon is a funny guy, so there wasn't really an opportunity to replace this guy with a CGI character. There wasn't an opportunity really to do this any other way, but incorporating Marlon's performance with another smaller body.
We really kind of did a guerrilla-style visual effect. We didn't do motion control, which has been the traditional way to do this kind of thing.
And I said, no, let's do it blood, sweat, and tears the hard way, where it becomes tracking and rotoscope and cleaning up as you go. This gives Keenan absolute flexibility. He could shoot it like he's shooting a regular movie and just pose. He has to do the rotoscope and tracking to put the head on. It's mechanical, dirty work. It's not hero work.
What's interesting is we had to shoot the movie twice. So first we had to shoot the body, and then we had to shoot the head.
We shoot the scene with Lyndon, who's our Calvin body, as if he was the actor in the role. Lyndon knows all the lines. He works through the scene as if he's the character.
I've got a nasty hangover, and I walk in my gut that just won't pass.
Then what we do is we turn it over to our editors.
When we first cut the scene, I don't think about the visual effects at all. I just cut the scene to make it work. As Keenan keeps saying, the film's not cut until Marlon's in it.
Once the scene is cut together and Keenan likes what he's seeing and he's comfortable, what we do then is we take that and we go to our green screen.
When we shoot the green screen, I use a video overlay system. So I have one monitor that shows me the background plate with Lyndon acting out the scene. And then I have a live feed to the green screen stage, which shows me Marlon. We then put in a garbage mat, so we get rid of some of Marlon's body, and then we do an overlay on a third monitor. This allows me to track in real time what Marlon's performance on his head is doing and Lyndon's body.
Marlon had the most difficult job because he was isolated. He was on a green screen. And he had to physically match everything that Lyndon did with his head.
When we see Lyndon turning away from camera and running across the street, we had to then work out retrospectively how we shoot Marlon's head to do the same move without him actually doing the same action.
He plays it back over and over and over and over, and he fixes on the beats.
And then he looks to Sean like, is he gone? And then goes back to the keys.
Then he just recreates it and then adds his comedy to it.
That's right. Dig up in your eyes, cars, and your baby gap and pay the man. That's right. Pay me.
But it's a mechanical process like choreography.
Marlon totally gets it. On the green screen, he's fantastic. I think he's got a great visual memory. He looks at the playback and says, right, got it. We go through, rehearse the moves, and then he can more or less hit the marks every time.
It's just hard because it's just tedious. It's not like I film a scene. I gotta film pieces of a scene. Every scene goes like this. Where normally I would just talk like this, but I can't just talk like this. I gotta talk, and then I gotta talk. And then I gotta do the next part like, and then we do the next this, and then you put it together and it's talk like this. See? I'm telling you right now, I ain't going back to jail. You understand?
So I think Marlon's learning a lot, and he's been brilliant at taking direction as far as for his head alone, and really coming into that character. Because not only has Marlon got a very technical job to do on the green screen by matching Lyndon's movements, he also has to deliver his lines, he has to deliver a performance. He does a fantastic facial performance.
He came up with a very clever way of using a chair that was one of those chairs that you could, swivel chair. And that way he could keep his head still and move his body in a fluid way.
When I'm acting and I'm supposed to be driving in a car, I'm really sitting on a box. And I'm not in a car, and when I'm running, it's really not me running, somebody else is running. I'm doing this, I'm acting with my head. I might as well got my head chopped off and just had that come to set, and at least my body could be at home sleeping.
So when this ballet comes together, we hope that we end up with the head moving and matching Lyndon's.
As a performer, I'm physical, I'm animated. Even when I'm sitting still, my face is animated, so it's cool, and I think it's definitely gonna work. I can't wait to see it all come together.
We're here today at the Moving Picture Company in Soho in London. It's one of our key vendors. They're working on roughly 550 shots, which is about half the amount of visual effects shots in this film. They've got around 40 artists working on the shots right now. So you have prep artists, composite artists, roto artists, and tracking artists, all doing different jobs, but effectively working as a team to marry this head back onto this character.
And we have to take Marlon's head off the green screen and put it onto Lyndon's body in the main plate.
It's using existing technologies which have been refined a lot. Importantly, rotoscoping tools.
So the roto effectively is tracing Lyndon's head out. It sounds a bit macabre, but we're going to cut Lyndon's head off. And it's funny to watch those shots because you see this little distended body running around with no head, and in some sequences it looks a bit, strange. But that's the first part of the preparation that we do.
The tracking tools have really come on the last 2 or 3 years to allow us to do this. Even the smallest little twitch we can translate from one body onto the head, which again lets you believe that the head and the body exist together.
Now look, I got the...
Aha! Reach for the sky. Who you talking to, sonny boy?
This is a tracking marker, and it helps them put Marlon Wayans' face on my body.
Lyndon has a wonderful range of movement. He does little ticks, moves forward, backwards, and rotates. We can translate that movement onto a static head from Marlon, and automatically you feel there's a marriage between the two.
Lyndon being such an active character made it a little easier because with the action, your eye is much more easily fooled into just believing that that was the original head that was put on there.
Because you can hide certain amount of some niggly stuff. You can hide inside motion blur, inside motion, because if a body's whipping through and running around, if someone's standing stock still, there always is some movement in the body, and that's ironically harder to actually nail down and sell, because you're actually looking at it intently and it's not moving around.
I think he is a precious gift from God. You know, God gives gifts, and sometimes he wraps them in a hurry. Sometimes. Isn't he a precious gift?
I'm going to show you a few shots and how they're broken down. This particular case is Tracy Morgan and Lyndon, who plays Calvin's body, running down the street. This is then scanned and sent to NBC in London, where they create a clean plate and effectively remove Lyndon's head, which gives us a clean body in order to track Marlon's head on. The next stage is to go to the green screen, and now we shoot Marlon with matched camera and lens. And as you can see here, he rotates away the camera, but he doesn't actually run through the shot.
Well, we probably spend about 5 or 6 days on a shot like this to be able to scale down this green screen, track the markers we have here, and then probably another 2 days or so to actually get the head onto here and into the environment. Especially at the beginning here, it comes around the corner, there's that splash of light on the ground. We have to mimic that going across the head.
This is a fairly complex shot where we've not only got Lyndon moving quite a lot bit through frame, we also have a camera move as well. So it's in the convenience store. We capture this with a Steadicam, tracking back with Lyndon and then tilting up to reveal him as he comes to the end of the shelf. So on the green screen element, we actually had to do a camera move as well to reflect this perspective shift, as well as Marlon replicating the moves of the character. The clean plate was probably the most challenging aspect of the shot as well.
The biggest part on the show has been the background preparation. We have to restore the background. So if you imagine my head cut off, you have to restore the monitors behind me.
So he could be walking through a convenience store, and behind him there's racks of stuff for sale, and you've got to make sure that all that stuff is replaced before you put Marlon's head back on top.
And then the final composite, you can see all the bobbing motion and the travelling motion with Lyndon is all done digitally in the computer. Here's a nice example of the shots where this is a night exterior shot we shot in Vancouver of Lyndon. And then when we come to the green screen, Steve Bernstein, DP, has to match that lighting, get obviously the key coming right direction, the amount of bounce back and fill, and then work on the colour temperature so it feels like it's in the same environments as the night exterior, where the shots composited together. Timing between the head and the body had to feel as rigidly locked together as possible.
It really, once you get the head on, the character is a lot more believable at that point.
It has been one of the toughest things that we've been trying to do on the show, is to create that believability that here is a 2'6" character that has this toughness. But I think if you look at the shots, you will see, or you won't see, it is seamless.
And when we put Marlon's head on it, I mean, it was just hilarious, and you knew instantly that this was going to work.
Baby, up.
But from a visual effects standpoint, if it looks like a real 2'7" person hitting someone over the head with a frying pan, and you get a laugh when you watch it, then you've done your job.
They show me what it looks like with Marlon Wayans on my body, and it looks perfect.
It's beyond what we thought we could do.
When people see the end result and just how flawless the effects are, they're going to be blown away.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What is it? Whoa.